If you're training hard and eating reasonably well, but your belly fat just refuses to move no matter what you try, then you need to watch this video. And before you start blaming your workouts or your ab routine, your genetics, metabolism, I need to get something really clear. You cannot spot reduce body fat. There is no magic exercise, there is no magic ab circuit, and I'm sorry to burst the bubble, but I've got some good news as well. There is one exercise that almost everyone overlooks, and it's the same exercise that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have used to drop 10, 20, even 50 kilos or more. And it's something that literally anyone can do. So today I'm going to explain why belly fat is so stubborn to come off, why your cardio workouts aren't going to help you lose fat, and the one form of exercise that is guaranteed to help you lose fat and keep it off after. So let's get into it. Firstly, why is belly fat so stubborn? Every guy that I speak to wants to lose the fat around the gut, and understandably so. But everyone also says that it's the one place that they can never lose the fat from. This is because belly fat is the first place that you gain fat and the last place that you lose fat. Because especially as guys, we store the majority of our fat around the midsection, around your hips, the love handles, and around the lower back as well. So right around the waist. So when you first enter a calorie deficit and you're shifting the body fat, you might be losing weight but not seeing changes around the stomach. The reason for this isn't because you're genetically cursed or you're not losing fat, it's because you're losing fat from other areas first. Your body will just pull body fat from around your body. It might be in your arms, it might be in your chest, it might be in your legs, your ass. For me, it's always in my ass. When I gain weight, that's where it goes. When I lose weight, that's where it strips from first. And for the first few weeks of a deficit phase for myself, I don't see much of a difference around the stomach area. And that is because the body is pulling all the fat cells from everywhere else, and then it will start pulling from the stomach. Or maybe it's even already pulling it from the stomach, but because you have a higher accumulation of fat around the waistline, around the gut, it's just going to take longer for that to show up because there's more overall. So don't worry, because you're not broken, you're not doing anything wrong, it's just the way your body works. It will come with time, you just have to stick to it long term. If the scale weight is going down, the fat is coming off, and those changes will appear more and more visible over time. That's why it's so important to take progress photos, so then you can flick through them weekly, and over the weeks, the months, you're going to be able to see that change coming together. But in order to create that change, a lot of guys rely very, very heavily on cardio. And while cardio is a great tool to help burn fat, and obviously build your fitness, works the most important muscle in the body, the heart, and all that good stuff, using cardio solely just to burn fat probably isn't the best way to go about it. A lot of guys think that to lose fat they need to do fancy forms of cardio, like a HIIT circuit or start running around the gym like an idiot. And while yeah, it's a lot of effort, it's going to get you breathless, it's going to get sweat on, it requires a lot of fucking motivation to go and do that. And if you don't enjoy doing that in the first place, you're not going to stick to it, let's be honest. What you're going to be better off doing is focusing on a weight training program, something you can focus on and progress, what's going to actually build your physique in a predictable way, so you can see the strength progressions, you can work on the areas that you want to build up the most, so that when you cut the fat, you look lean and muscular rather than just skinny. And then the cardio alongside that, you just want to focus on steady state cardio. So cardio where you get your heart rate up and you just hold your heart rate elevated for a certain duration of time. To work out where your heart range needs to be, it's 220 minus your age times by 0.75. That will get you to 75% of your maximum heart rate, which will put you in a good fat burning state. Hold that twice a week for 20 minutes and scale up as needed. That's how you can structure cardio so it's sustainable and you don't fucking dread it every time you have to do it. But this moves us nicely on to the number one most underrated fat loss tool that most men do not use enough. And it's a tool that literally anyone can do. And the best part is you don't even need a gym to do it. You can do it from anywhere. And that is walking. And I truly believe that walking is the best exercise that you can do for fat loss. The benefit of this is it's very low on fatigue. And if you're following a structured weight training program, as you're cutting fat and your calories are low, naturally your energy is going to be low alongside that. So if you're trying to maintain drastic HIIT workouts and this really high cardio output frequency, it's not realistic. You're better off just making sure you're walking enough each day. It's low impact, you can do it very steady state, and it just ensures that every day your body is moving, you're burning the calories, in return you're going to burn body fat. And the benefit of this is you can stick to it year round. Yes, it might be a bit harder in the winter when it's cold and wet, but put a coat on, put your hood up, you're going to be fine, you're not going to melt in the rain. What you need to remember is that burning calories is just about using energy. So your body doesn't care how you use that energy, you just need to find a sustainable way that you can actually maintain it long term. And walking is something that the majority of people are going to be able to do. It's a very niche demographic of people who aren't going to be able to walk. And it's not even just for the fat loss it's beneficial, it's really good for your mental health as well. There's plenty of research to show that just moving more each day can be extremely beneficial to your mental state. And not moving enough day to day is often the missing piece of the puzzle for people that are plateauing in their weight loss. You could be sticking to a calorie deficit consistently, you could be weight training, you could even be doing your steady state cardio on top of this in the gym, but then if you come home and you veg and rot on the sofa all day, after working a desk-based job where you're sat all day, the simple math of it is you're not outputting enough energy throughout the day. Yes, you're outputting a lot of energy in the workouts and the cardio, but day to day, you're doing fuck all. And especially if you're only going to the gym 3 or 4 days a week, that's another 3 to 4 days a week that you're not doing anything. If you're not moving enough throughout the day, you're still inputting the energy, but you're not outputting it anywhere. You need to make sure you have something you can focus on each day. And that's where walking enough, but more specifically having a step count in place for your daily targets, helps drastically with fat loss. What you need to do now is work out your daily step count. The way you do this is if you have a smartwatch, then you can't see it, but I've got one on, I promise. Even better, because you can just wear this and it will just naturally track your steps. Doesn't matter what brand it is, just any smartwatch will do. If you don't have one, I would recommend investing into one. It's well worth the investment. But let's say you don't want to invest into a smartwatch, just use your phone. Keep it in your pocket all day and it will roughly track your steps. Maybe not as accurately, but an estimation is better than nothing. Track this consistently over 7 days, and then at the end of it, work out what your average step count is. Add all your steps up from all the days of data you have accumulated, divide it by 7, that will work out a daily average step count for you. From there, you now know your average daily step count. The challenge to you now is to add 2,000 to that daily step count. If you're hearing that and you're thinking, oh my God, I can't possibly do another 2,000 steps throughout my day, it's literally 2 10-minute walks. That's it. On average, a 10-minute walk is about 1,000 steps. So it's an extra 20 minutes of walking a day. Are you seriously telling me that you can't manage that? Your body is designed to move. It's not designed to sit around. It's only in the modern day society that we've become so sedentary. Think back 100 years ago, your grandparents were not sat behind a desk all day, hunched over like this, and then watching a screen like this, and then sat on the sofa in the evening like this, watching Friends. They were active, they were out, they were moving. That's the way your body's designed. But don't worry, this doesn't have to be an overnight change. This is something you can gradually work towards over time. But make it a daily priority. So here's some easy ways that you can increase your step count. When you go to the gym, when you go shopping, when you go to work, you're probably parking in a car park. Park the furthest spot away. We always do this, and I'm guilty of it as well. We park the closest spot possible to where we need to be because we can't be asked to walk the distance. But if you're struggling to get your daily steps in, then this is the number one change that you can make to make hitting your steps easier. And once you've done this a few times, it's something you don't even think about. You'll just naturally be that weirdo that parks in the furthest spot away and walks over to the shops. But guess what? When you're dropping fat consistently week on week, you're not going to give a fuck that you look like a weirdo. Another great way is making it a habit that you walk after each meal. When you have your breakfast in the morning before work, you go out for a 10-minute walk then. During your lunch break, 10-minute walk then. When you get home in the evening, you have dinner, you go for a 10-minute walk then. If you have a partner, even better, because you can get them involved and they can go for a walk around the block with you. When you're at the gym, commit to a 10-minute walk on the treadmill before your workout or after your workout, or even better, both. If you're on the phone to someone, get up and get moving whilst you're on the phone. Don't just sit down. Or just start implementing walks into your daily routine. When you get home from work or get to work early and then go for a walk around your office or wherever it is you work. Stick in your earphones, listen to some music, listen to a podcast, an audiobook. Or the alternative, if your weekdays are truly that busy, which I struggle to believe they are, but okay, let's say you have the craziest work routine ever. If Monday to Friday you can't do it, increase your output Saturday and Sunday, or whatever your days are off during the week. On your days off, go way over your step count. So on the days that you're working and you're not able to get as many steps in, it makes up for it. So your average for the week is still higher. There are so many ways that you could get your steps in. It's literally just about consciously thinking about it. If you're not thinking about it, you probably won't get your steps in. So just start thinking about it. But there is one important caveat to all of this. You can't outwalk a calorie surplus. So if you're still eating like shit and consuming way too many calories, you can walk from England to fucking Antarctica if you wanted to. But if you've consumed more calories than what's going to take your body to walk that distance, you're not going to burn body fat. So alongside your daily step count, you still need to make sure your diet is in place. You can't outwalk a shit diet. What is always going to create fat loss is being in a calorie deficit, consuming less calories per day than what your body is using. So if your guys watch this all the way through, but you still feel stuck with stubborn body fat, then it's probably not effort that's missing, it's the daily structure. If you're training 3, 4, maybe even 5 days a week, but the remaining days you're doing fuck all, then your body still is in a calorie surplus. And this small daily habit shift of walking more is probably all you need to get yourself back into a deficit to burn the body fat. If you want help putting together a fat loss plan that actually works for your specific situation with your lifestyle, that takes your daily output, your training, your lifestyle, your nutrition all into account, and you actually get the accountability to stick to it long term, then there's a link in the description that you can check out where you can learn a little bit more about working with me. Or you could just go on and watch the next video where I break down the biggest problem with losing fat and building muscle that most people don't tell you. I'll see you there.